Hello, happy health habits friends. I'm here with my friend Seth, who is off camera because he wants to remain anonymous. However, he has an amazing story of health and healing and hope and happiness that he would like to share with us today. And we're honored that he's going to share even just verbally so you can hear his journey and how much weight that he has lost between his ears. And I always say, Seth, right? Health it begins in between the ears and it ends between the ears. It's all in there, right? So I would love for you to share your journey of mental, mental, physical, right? It's mental, physical, financial, spiritual, anything you want to share. But you have such a great story. So I want to just invite you to and welcome you and thank you for doing this because it's going to make a difference in someone else's life. Sharing your story is and caring enough to share is going to save or change a life and encourage someone along the way. So thank you in advance. So tell us, Seth, what a little about yourself. What your life was like before you connected with the Habits of Health group, before you got Dr. Anderson's work, what was that like before you got connected? And just a little, background. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, thank you for taking this time with me. Yeah, before the habits of health, I'm an emotional stress eater, and be stressed out, and I'd find something to chew on. I really felt kind of lost. Didn't have a map or direction. Nothing to focus on to make things better. I just focused on the that urge to feed the stress monster. Um, I'd find myself with mindless eating. Just all of a sudden I'd be chewing on something and like, oh, how did we get there? But just kind of adrift. It really felt that's how it felt. It just kind of adrift, and things were happening. I
Hmm.
wasn't taking command.
You were out of control, and you were whatever way the waves were taking you. You weren't in
Yeah,
command. You weren't in command.
absolutely.
That's a great way to put it. You weren't in command of yourself. Yeah, you were just kind of at the whim of you were at the mercy of your habits that you didn't even really
Right.
know.
They were in full control.
Right, you were not in control. That's exactly right. You were not being
Yep.
the dominant force in your life, you now know,
That's
right?
correct.
So what have you found, how did you find out about this lifestyle program anyway? What attracted you to it? Who invited you to it? How did you get started? What did you love
Yeah.
about it?
Yeah, it all started, met with my chiropractor that I would see quite often, and he mentioned that he had met you at a conference because we're in different states, Dr. Amy and I, and just through that mutual meeting, my chiropractor recommending, hey, you should check this out because he and I have been trying to work on weight loss and to to forward that. But
Okay,
he's not a life coach. He's not a weight loss coach.
right, he has
And
limited time and scope of practice, yeah.
yep. So just with that recommendation, started talking with Dr. Amy and uh, getting the Dr. Anderson's book in my hand. Um, it's not like any other weight loss, say, program or book that I've read. It really focused on. Well, it felt like it was written directly to me in some of the chapters is like, wow, that's completely me. Um, the covering of the drama triangle, which is huge in my life, uh, all of the emotional aspects to this eating, it felt like he truly had written it with me in mind.
So
So it's just been
you loved
a
the
fit.
book, the reality of the pages and what's on there, and it was just really exactly what you needed to hear. You felt like
Right.
it's written for you. That's yeah. So that was your favorite component, and then the coaching piece because you had your chiropractor, but you didn't have someone that could help you really integrate this stuff, right? The
Oh,
lifestyle.
absolutely. Yep. I
Yeah.
didn't mean to minimize your impact. No, your impact
No,
has
but
been huge.
those are your two kind of, you were attracted to those parts of the
Yes,
program, right?
absolutely.
Hmm.
Absolutely. So the encouragement from your coaching, the accountability aspect,
Hmm.
but just that drive that you've provided, and don't give up, and we're not going to give up. We're going to move forward. We'll have setbacks, but we're going to work through them. Don't let them drag you down.
Can't fail if you
And
don't quit, right?
yep, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And you actually like that there was the webinars. You participate in the webinars, you like
Webinars. Yep,
listening to those and learning from those, and you always take great notes, right? How you've
absolutely.
appreciated that piece as well. How has that made a difference for you?
Oh, it's uh from feeling lost, which I could equate to being alone. This brought me to I'm not alone. There
Mm.
is a plan, there is a direction. Others have done it. I can follow. Um, it was just encouragement
Yeah.
beyond my belief. You
Yeah,
know,
because you're in your own little bubble thinking
I
this is
am.
your struggle and you're all by yourself, right?
Yep, I'm on the struggle bus alone. Yes.
Struggle bus alone, all yeah.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden there's this greater like, wow, look at all these people and they're real and they talk like me and they think like me and what?
Yep. No, absolutely.
Yeah,
Uh,
that is an amazing that's an amazing aha moment, right?
it is. It truly is.
Yeah.
Oh,
And then
oh, go
tell
ahead.
me
Sorry.
about how you like the structure, like having a strategy for what like your fueling and
Water
your
and
hydration
food and
and
fueling.
your
Yes.
how did you like that?
Having that plan in place. Uh, I kind of liken it to when I've got 4 kids. So when we go somewhere, we always set up, like if we're going to the county fair, hey, if you get lost, go to the Ferris wheel. That kind of that idea. So even when you are lost, you really aren't, because you know what direction you're going into. So having
I love it.
a set, make sure you get your water in, get your 5 fuelings in, just having that regiment, or that plan.
Mhm.
I found that I always thought, oh, drink more water, you'll feel better. I'm like, yeah, that's kind of a line. Sure, I totally understand and believe it now, how important
I've heard that a
water is,
million times, and then now you get it.
and I get it. And if there are some days that I'm a little bit low on my water, I'm like, gosh, I don't feel quite right. I'm like, well, I didn't drink enough today. Or the fuelings have come in handy too, because just eating those every few hours tides you over.
Yep.
And it helped reduce cravings. A big thing was stop challenge choose for me, because I was that mindless eater, I was that emotional stress eater. But now I take time, like, oh, feeling stressed, boy, I could probably go get a bag of Cheetos. Like, well, am I really hungry? Well, no. But is it time for fueling? Well, a half hour or so. And one of those things where it's like just taking that time to say, really, are you? Or
Yeah.
is it
So
stress?
learning that technique where you create the
Yeah.
gap between the emotion and the response, and you just having that tool of, okay, I need to really just take a step back here, take a breath, right? You learned how to breathe, you learned how to drink water. Seems pretty simple, right?
Right. All simple things, but yes, they're very important, but hard. It was hard for me to believe, or
Yeah. Yeah.
and it's been a wonderful change.
The
Um,
and consciousness.
Consciously.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. And that's what Dr. Anderson's like doing every month now, is working with all of us on. It's about a shift in consciousness and going through that conscious, the stages of consciousness, and learning about, now you're consciously incompetent, but you're
Hmm.
working
Right.
at getting you, and you are consciously competent about several things in your life, right? Where you were not competent in them at all before, or even conscious of them, right?
Right. Exactly.
And so now you have a structure and a strategy where you can implement, and it makes sense. to a guy, especially who's kind of an engineering type mind,
Yes.
right? If I may,
Oh
it
yeah.
gives you kind of that step by step solution to a problem, right? Like that's
I
practical, right?
definitely appreciate steps. Yes.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I talked to an engineer guy the other day. I said, "Yeah, yeah, I like this. This is steps, and it's a thing, and I can engineer my life, and I love it. I
Yeah.
love it."
And with that, it's ways to celebrate the small victories, which actually aren't small. They're quite large. It's all of these all of these important things I've learned.
Yes.
Someone might say, "Well, those are small things," but in my life, it's been a huge change. I've got a lot of stress at home and a lot of stress at work, and
Hmm.
without this program, I don't know where I would have been, say, today. Would I
Hmm.
still be alive? Would I have eaten myself, into the grave? Would stress, have given me, a heart attack or however you want to say it? But
Yeah.
I don't know where I would be today without all
Because
of the
yeah, because
management
you've had your
tools.
scares, right? You've had
Oh
your
yeah.
scares, and now that's kind of scared you silly
Yep.
straight, and you got to take it seriously because you have too much to lose.
Correct.
You have too much to lose. What has been you've progressed a lot, and particularly emotionally and mentally. So I really love to point out your small scale victories, your what we call non-scale victories, how
Hmm.
every week you come and you have a non-scale victory that is not it doesn't have anything to do with the scale. And you are so excited about it.
Yeah.
Tell them what little things that you really get jazzed about now.
Some of the bigger, the little but big things are uh, just recognizing, like, uh, I had a bad week at work. Me a few years ago probably would have gone to the Chinese buffet and sat there for an hour and filled up 4 plates. Now I have a bad day. I sit down, breathe, and think through what truly is bothering me. Is it something I need to be bothered by? Is it something that, how do I fix it, or does it need to be fixed? Is it a big deal? Just running through all of those emotions
Is
just
it
to,
real? Is it even about me?
is it
Is it
real?
even
Right.
something I can do
Oh, that's
anything
the perfect
about?
one. Yeah.
You, you
Is it even me? Yeah.
you've discovered that you make things up a lot it's not even
Yes.
there, right?
Worst case scenario, and that might be kind of that engineering mind too of what could happen, or what, yeah, it might be nothing, but I've made it into a huge deal, and then you
Yep.
know that ball of stress is laying on my shoulders then, and it doesn't
Yep.
need to be.
Yeah.
So
Self.
just those little things that
Hmm. Let it
cut
go.
the legs off of the big, snowball. Yeah, it's
Makes a big difference in your life when you can let the little things go for real.
yeah,
Right? For real. That's awesome. That is so awesome. See, that is the real deal, right? Doesn't
yeah,
matter. And I love that we're off camera because it doesn't matter what you look like, what your stage is, what your age is, what your weight is.
yeah.
Nothing. It doesn't matter because that is winning.
Hmm.
Yep, what's happening is winning, and I'm so glad you're able to share this story because we got to really accept that that people feel shame for feel shame about where they are, where they've been, who they are fundamentally, even that's just a shroud of it's a shame is a sham, it's a shroud, and it's a
Yeah.
black cloud, and it needs to go because when we can actually celebrate these little things and that change our thinking, then we're going to be winning long term, no matter our age, stage, weight, height, size, whatever. As long as we're, work doing those things. So, what would you say to that's the winning? Like you are winning
It's
no matter
winning.
what.
Yeah.
So, what would you say to someone who's actually like considering, okay, is this the right kind of group or fit or plan or strategy, what would you say to them if they're looking at the habits of health as a lifestyle system, or even just looking at, hey, I need to lose some weight? What would your
Well,
advice be?
my advice is, this is not like any other program I've ever, say, been on or heard of. Uh, it's the full deal. It's everything. It isn't just counting calories. It isn't, counting calories. No, this is everything: mental health, physical health, financial health. Really, to get. to gain control of yourself,
Yeah.
to, and it's
Become the
I
dominant force in your
the
life,
dominant
right?
force. And you almost have, you got to read the book. I really do. You know,
Got to read the book.
the book is written to you. I mean,
Mm,
it isn't a it's not a book written just to have words on pages. Those words are thoughtful, meant, and they're meaningful, and they're directed, like I said before,
right.
I think he wrote the book directly to me, or with me in mind.
Yeah, I think we all feel that way. And when he
Yeah,
does his conscious leader forums and he shows up on the webinars, I think Dr. Anderson wears his shoulder
yeah,
or his heart on his sleeve, right? So we all can feel it, like he's jumping through and talking right to us. So that's
absolutely.
that's really a gift, isn't it? That he can share that gift with us. And my favorite thing ever was last week when you came and you said, I listened to the webinar and now I remember what you got out of it. You wrote a little card, or you're supposed to anyway. You change your mind
Yep,
and you say every morning, what do you say?
I choose to. Yeah, I choose to. I get to, and I can't remember the third one, but yes, it
And
wasn't the, oh, I
I
have
choose
to,
to, I
or
get to, and I want to.
I want to. Yes,
Yep.
yes,
I will
and
command myself and I will follow
correct,
my command, right?
right. Don't,
Which you, yeah, what you just been saying is like I was not in command. So now
no,
you
no,
are. And you get when you know what, when you got your power back, you got your power back, then that's everything. Then everything else is immaterial and it's just one day and one step at a time, right? So
right,
I
and with that too, one day at a time. The days that are setbacks, they're just a day. Tomorrow's a new day. Will it isn't. I have a greater respect to that. There will be days that are terrible, or
yeah,
they won't be right.
yeah.
Tomorrow's a new day, and we get right back on the horse. Or and I'm talking maybe more about emotions right now too. But there will be bad days, and we know that we're
Yep.
expecting them, and we can work through them.
And adjust the sails instead of going
Yep,
with the flow. Yeah.
correct.
Yep. Instead of going with the waves, you adjust the sails and you tack, I suppose
Yep.
that's called.
And another thing too, with like what we've talked about with breathing and taking time, it's okay to take time for yourself. Like,
Oh,
if I need
amen.
5 minutes, that's the 5 minutes I need
Mhm.
to go breathe, to just take a walk outside. It is taking that control back of, you're important to or you have to make yourself important to yourself.
And share what
Um,
you did with your family
yeah.
boundaries around your time.
Oh yes, yep. Just setting boundaries. Here's what time homework's going to be. We're going to do it at this time. Um, you know, Later in the night, 8:30, 9 o'clock, that's going to be my time. That'll be my time to reflect, to go through emails, to do some Bible study, and then having that off off screen time so you can actually wind down, get ready for bed. But just to have that time of where it's just me and I can clear my thoughts and relax. And setting those boundaries up of is expectations for the kids. Like, okay, we get home, we'll eat, we do homework, we'll get it done, and then we can go do some fun things or play a
Mhm.
game, or whatever it is. But getting that structure
In
in
your
my
life.
home life
With
is
4 kids, you need structure.
right. It gets a
And
little crazy some days.
the brilliant part is beyond brilliant is that you set your time. This is dad's time. This is
Yeah,
my time. Because if I'm not healthy, nobody's healthy, right?
correct, correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we talked about some time ago where I was on a flight, and one of the instructions is, if the oxygen masks drop, put yours on first.
Mhm,
And at first that feels kind of selfish, but truly it isn't, because you have to take care of yourself so that you can take care of the others around you.
mhm.
And you know that made a whole lot of sense after I learned why you put your oxygen mask on first, because you have to take care of yourself so that you can help others. Uh, if you're not around, you can't help someone else. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Amen to that. all of that. Amen. Woo! I'm gonna cry. Oh, amen. There's nothing, there's no way to follow that up. That is, you would die for your 4 kids, but the question is,
Oh,
y'all, will we live for them?
yes,
Do what we
correct.
gotta do, right, Seth? You gotta do it, do it, do it, because you want to live for them
Yep, every day.
every day. Yep, every day. Live like we were dying, because we
That's
will,
correct.
but we gotta live it, not die it.
That's correct.
Yay! Thank you so much for sharing. I just love
Oh,
you so
yes,
much.
thank you.
You have blessed me so much. And it's such an honor to be able to provide, health and help and hope and happiness to you and everybody else that we're going to help for listening to this. So thank you for caring enough to share. And
Oh,
we
my
all love
pleasure.
you and we all cheer you on. I'm sure you're going to get some, some support from our group, and the Optimal
Oh,
Lifers love you, and we, the Happy Healthier Habits, love you, and all of us. It's great. So we're glad to have you. Thank you for sharing. And we look forward to hearing many good things in the future.
very good. Well,
Yeah.
thank you so much for your time, and thank you everyone for taking time to listen today.
Yeah. Love and hugs. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you. Bye
thank
bye.
you. Bye-bye.